Hey everybody, President Trump put this on Truth Social just a few minutes ago. I received this from the White House and it reads, I am pleased to announce that I will be nominating Mike Waltz to be the next United States Ambassador to the United Nations. From his time in uniform, on the battlefield, in Congress, and as my national security advisor, Mike Waltz has worked hard to put our nation's interests first. I know he will do the same in his new role. In the interim, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will serve as National Security Advisor while continuing his strong leadership at the State Department. Together, we will continue to fight tirelessly to make America and the world safe again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And then it writes, see the truth here, which leads to the link. Now, you may be wondering, okay, what happened to Mike Waltz? Well, he was terminated according to Fox News. I happened to find this entry posted today just a moment ago while I was on my way to making the thumbnail for what you just saw. And so this is the Mike Waltz news, and it's all fresh news. All this has just happened, okay? For example, I just posted mine, and then Politico posted an hour before Trump plans to oust, here it is, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Names for replacement have been discussed around the West Wing for weeks, but now you know the replacement's going to be Marco Rubio. There's Mike Waltz. And it reads here, President Donald Trump is planning to now oust National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, who has lost the confidence of other administration officials, according to 5 people familiar with the decision. He could leave imminently, but the move is not final, the people said. Remember, this is just an hour ago. Trump is known to pivot away from plans he tells staff and even announces publicly. All 5 people were granted anonymity to discuss information that is not public. Then it goes on to read, names for replacement have been discussed around the West Wing for weeks, but the plans to remove Waltz potentially as soon as this week gained steam in recent days, according to 2 people and another person close to the White House. If Waltz leaves, he would be the first senior level departure in the second Trump administration. Now, you know by reading the blog report with Zenny62, and this is also on Zenny62, ZennyReport.com and Zenny62blog.com, that he is being nominated to be the ambassador to the UN by Trump, which means he will be that. The president has so far resisted pressure to remove cabinet officials and other top advisors. It would also be a stunning fall for the former member of Congress from Florida and military veteran. Asked for comment, White House spokesperson Carolyn Leavitt said, we are not going to respond to reporting from anonymous sources. It is clear who would step in to run the influential White House Security Council. It is unclear, who would step in to run the influential White House Security Council if Waltz is removed. Now we know Marco Rubio's been tapped for that. Currently, a leading pick is Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who is shepherding negotiations with Russia, Iran, and Hamas in Gaza, according to the 3 of the people. Other possible contenders include Trump's top policy chief, Stephen Miller, he didn't get it, NSC Senior Director for Counterterrorism, Sebastian Gorka, he didn't get it, and Trump's special envoy for special missions, Richard Grenell, he didn't get it either. Waltz's departure would jolt a national security team plagued by chaos and turmoil as Trump's team tries to broker diplomatic ends to conflicts in 3 theaters and wages a global trade war. Despite National Security Advisor Deputy National Security Advisor Alex Wong is also expected to leave, according to 2 people familiar with the matter. The White House intention to remove Waltz and Wong was previously reported by journalist Mark Halperin on his stream show, The Morning Meeting. Waltz rose from the House Armed Services Committee to the top echelons of the national security landscape in just 6 years. Since The Atlantic first reported on the existence of the Signal chat in which top Trump administration officials discussed plans to attack members of the backed Houthi militant group in Yemen, questions swirled within the White House about Waltz's future. While Trump administration officials repeatedly voiced confidence in Waltz, many in the likely highly classified former and current officials. Waltz had further been weakened after far-right activist Laura Loomer met with Trump and persuaded him to fire several members of the NSC and top officials, including the director of the National Security Agency, General Tim Hall, over loyalty concerns. Loomer also targeted Waltz deputy Wong, accusing the son of Chinese immigrants of advancing Chinese interests. In response to reports of Waltz ouster, Loomer sent a one-word text to the Politico, Loomered. The scandal and Waltz's inability to shield his staff from Loomer's efforts significantly hindered his ability to wield influence in the administration, with officials at the White House and State Department increasingly questioning his ability to run the NSC effectively. Chief of Staff Susie was also familiar with the matter. Trump has had a fraught relationship with many of his national security advisors, seeing 4 people cycle through the role over 4 years when he was last in office. While other presidents have delegated authority to the National Security Advisor as like a principal, Trump prefers a smaller body that functions more like staff. Waltz suffered for acting more like a principal and less like a staffer, one close White House ally said. In a sign that he was unable to gain influence, Waltz struggled to place people in top roles in the National Security Council. Many key posts remain empty, and other members of the White House blocked his choices for senior director NSC posts on strategy, nuclear and strategic issues, and African affairs, among others. His picks were viewed by hardline MAGA appointees in the White House as too establishment. In the case of Africa, 3 of Waltz's picks were rejected in a row. The post remains unfulfilled. I wonder if that's because they were black. That's worth investigating. Trump's firing of Waltz is likely to turn attention to embattled Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Trump has continued to defend him, even as the signal scandal and ensuing revelations of other similar text threads have rattled the Pentagon and seen the departure of many of his top aides. And that is from Politico. However, before I close this, folks, I just want to check on something regarding that matter and the National Security Advisor. National Security Advisor's list. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the list of people. List in history. See if we can get some sort of list. People who had served in the role. There's a long line. I'm not going to read the entire line. But we had, let's see, if you're wondering, we had Condoleezza, if we reach back to, say, 1981. I'll show you what I'm looking at here, right here, okay? We have such luminaries as Henry Kissinger, George Bundy before him, Robert Cutler, Ziggy Brzezinski, Richard Allen, Condoleezza Rice under Bush, Susan Rice under Obama, Jake Sullivan under Biden, and then Mike Waltz under Biden, but then he was let go under Trump. So there is the list. This is Jake Sullivan there. And that was Jake Sullivan. So, National Security Advisor. So there you are, my folks. Subscribe to the Vlog Report with Zenny62 on YouTube, Zenny62, and bookmark ZennyReport.com. That ends this broadcast.